I'll never cry. It's not my thing. Anyways, what I want to say, yeah, so Manfred wrote this morning, happy birthday everybody, because we define it as our second birthday because we survived. Welcome to another episode of Exploring Happiness, where we talk about alternative lifestyle, money, freedom, and happiness. Are we still doing the jingle thing?
Every time.
I'm nervous today, Jens.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh God, I already want to cry from the start, get-go. So
I think it's best if I just ask you, why is today such an special day for you?
Well, today is the 20th of May. I can even feel my heart beating faster. And today, for 15 years ago, actually, everything completely changed in my life. So 15 years ago, I went to America with a bunch of other young people. And we were traveling in a minibus in America, and suddenly the back tire exploded. And so we had a rollover accident, and one of our dear friends in the bus died. And I woke up in the middle of the desert, not knowing anything anymore. And oh God, I'm so nervous. Why I'm so nervous?
That's completely okay. It's a really big subject for you, and I think take a deep breath and maybe you had the rollover, but how was the trip? You know, how were you feeling? How was everything up until the accident?
Well, that's more positive turn on it. So life was just beautiful. I was 21 back then, and we were traveling. I was supposed to travel in America from coast to coast on an adventure trip, and mostly it was all about exploring nature and people and a lot of adventures and, just young, carefree, and suddenly from one second to the other, everything changed. I can even hear it in my voice. Oh, anyways. So I made some notes because I think why I wanted to go on the podcast today and tell about it is because it really came clear to me how important it is to live every day every day like it is your last almost. I know that is not possible, but I think for me, thinking about that we can actually, life can end pretty much any minute, and I became really aware of that in that accident because a friend died, and only 21, what a young age to die in. I even have tears in my eyes now. I don't think it's gonna be a good podcast today.
That's okay.
Anyways, so made some few. Oh God.
It's because when she woke up this morning in the group chat from all the other guys who are still here from the journey, the people who were all on that trip when the bus exploded, she woke up to, of course, messages from them. They write every year on the date. They have a WhatsApp group chat, and they make sure that everyone is okay and how we're doing and how many kids do we have now and are we still living every day as if it's the last.
Yeah. So yes,
that's also why we came up with the title for today is life is short. Eat dessert first. You have to have the good experiences every day, all the time. You're doing well, honey.
Toilet paper. Yeah. I'll never cry. It's not my thing. Anyways, what I want to say, yeah, so Manfred wrote this morning, happy birthday everybody, because we define it as our second birthday because we survived. I think you need to say something else.
Do I need to say something? I'm also a little bit, because it is such a big day, and it has always been, and I think especially for Niki now, she never really been this open, like on a full-on podcast and crying in front of all of you, and yeah, it's just a big deal. But I can, when I first started dating Niki, it was only 5 years ago, and I actually also knew the guy who died on the accident, and I remember back then it was a big thing in the community, but
Because
he was a well-liked guy, you know. But to take, it's not, this podcast was not supposed to handle to be about death and misery and all these things. It was actually supposed to be about the positivity of that, because if you don't go out and live your life, and if you choose to live afraid and in fear, I mean, I don't even know how to put it.
yeah,
I
let
mean,
me
you
just
really
take over.
You want to take over again? Are
Yeah.
you ready for that?
Yeah, no. So I will say, so just before, so I was in the bus, and we all were in the bus, and suddenly we heard a big explosion, and it was one of the tires, and it was the back tire, and suddenly everything just felt silent for a moment, and I could see out of the window, and I could see the ground came nearer. The driver couldn't control the van anymore, so everything actually was like going in slow motion, and I was thinking, oh my fucking god, I'm only 21, I'm gonna die now, and I'm not ready for it, because I didn't feel like I lived the life I wanted to live. I know I only was 21, but it was pretty miserable, and not miserable, but I didn't have an easy life, and there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of just depression and stuff like that. So I felt like I hadn't really experienced life the way I wanted. I wanted to travel. I wanted to, just go out there and enjoy it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so I became unconscious. It became really clear to me that this day would be when I woke up in the hospital, and I was alone, and it took some days before I got back home, and it became really clear to me that life, the way it was set up, like education, kids, house, all that stuff, in so much stress and everything, and was not the life for me. I was thinking there must be more out there than just 9 to 5 and struggling and drama and depression and all these things we are feeling, like not being completely happy. And so the next 15 years it took to change all the beliefs I grew up with, all the things society had taught us that life should be like, and just the way I thought about myself, how I thought about others. So there's so many lessons in that one moment. I wrote something down also, where I think one of the things I think a lot of women are struggling is being kind to themselves. Talk kindly to yourself and others. Have compassion with others. You never know what others have been through. Do more of what you love, which I think is the hardest thing, because we are taught that we have to have a big career and earn a lot of money instead of doing what we love. Why am I still crying?
It's okay.
Hug more. Hug the people you love and tell them. Yeah, and tell them that you care about them. Not just, never know when it's gonna be the last time you're gonna see them. And I know that is quite hard to grasp, but that is the truth. You never know when the last day is gonna be. I'm so depressing today. Maybe you can turn the note a little bit.
I think
I didn't.
You didn't anticipate this.
You're so bad of catching it, Jens.
You have to be so excited to go to bed at night, because you're so excited to wake up the next day and live your life.
Yeah.
And if for too many nights you don't want to go to sleep because you are dreading the next day and how much it's gonna suck, then it's time for you to change something in your life. And
That's
you-
why you chose the heading today, or the
yeah, that's why I chose the heading. Life is so short. Even a regular, long, full 80, 90, 100-year-old life is really short. And I know people much older than us who tell us that all the time. Time it's just gone.
yeah.
And so many of you out there spent the first 60, 70 years of your life building a life that you can retire to. And what you should do is try to create a life that you don't need to retire from.
Yeah.
Create a life you don't need a vacation from. Create a life you don't need to retire from.
Create more happiness.
Create more happiness for
We
yourself.
just have that one shot, I think, and what I also wrote down in my notes, because I probably knew this would happen, was that I need to look at it now. I wanted to be okay to die tomorrow. I want to be okay and not regret anything. I want to be okay to die tomorrow if it's gonna happen. Not that I want to die, because I love my life the way we have created it now for us too, but I don't want to feel ever again that I'm not ready to die, because this means I haven't lived my life fully. And living life fully means being with the right people, enjoying, having time, not being stressed or depressed or being overwhelmed. It's I really think we forget how precious this is and this moment is. And we can be so nasty to each other. We can, even now in these days, we are even more nasty to each other because we split everything up in two. And kindness, be kind. Because again, you never know what somebody else is going through right now. Maybe they are going through a divorce. Maybe somebody died in their family. And I think, compassion. Write down your dreams. What do you want? And start building on them. Take the next step. And because it's not so much again, like it's ridiculous what I'm saying now, but it's not so much the destination, it is the journey. Like, for instance,
really is the journey.
For instance, also the adventure trip I went on 15 years ago. Everything was planned out from Miami to San Francisco. Every day was planned. We had like the guide had everything planned for us: where to sleep, what to eat, what to do, and in the destinations were not so much what I remember. It was the relationship I had to the people in the car, and those funny, silly moments we had together. And when things didn't went well always, and just remember that even though if you plan everything and you want to go there, suddenly it can life can throw you a curveball, and life will not lead you the way where you hoped. So enjoying every moment is more important than getting to the destination, because you don't know if you're gonna get there.
No.
We didn't
know. You didn't know.
No. And
no, don't plan for retirement. Plan for now. Really start living.
Yeah.
Really start living as much as you can.
We don't need much. I think one of the best times is now. We have now, because we met some like-minded people. I'm still crying. But even though they're Germans, no, we met some German couple and with their kids, and we're just here on a campground, and we have been together for 1 month, and you probably know them already because we have them on the podcast. And we just enjoying each other's company, and we go for hikes, and Anton comes with flowers for us every day and leaves, and it's the simple thing in life, I promise you.
Yeah.
It's not when you buy a Ferrari or the new iPhone. It's not gonna make you happy. It's gonna make you happy if you have a fantastic relationship with your partner and with your family, and with some really good friends that encourage you and lifts you up and loves you for the quirky way you are, and nature, and going for your passions, what you always wanted to do. That's important in life. Screw everything else.
Do
Else.
everything else. Smile more.
Yeah, Niki, smile more. Wow.
That was a
And
powerful one.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think we got the message across anyways.
So it's not, I also want to say, it's not because I'm going and thinking about the accident like every day or anything like that, but I do take the 20th of May out of my calendar every year to reflect on my life. Am I where I want to be? Do I feel all the things I want to feel, like happy and relaxed and taking care of myself? I take it this day out of my calendar to reflect on where I have been and the steps or where I am now and where I want to go to next year. And I think it's good to have a day a year to reflect, to stop for a moment and appreciate life. I used to go up to because me and the guy who died lived in the same community as Jens said, so I used to go to his grave every year on the 20th to sit there and reflect and think about life. And yeah, this year we're in Portugal, it's fine, and now I'm crying in front of the camera instead. Much better. So I hope, I don't know, is there more to say? Do you want to, because
No, I don't know if I want to say anything. I think we got the message so clearly across. It's just, you never know when this is gonna end.
so eat
just
dessert first.
just eat that dessert, Eat
Yeah.
that dessert first.
And
Don't wait.
and
don't.
make your life so it feels that it is okay to die.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself
Prepare yourself.
so you
to-
don't have any regrets.
Yeah.
Don't say, like, have good discussion with your partner.
Talk
Talk nicely to each other. Sorry.
live a life that you would want to read a book about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. And I think we are closing it up. I don't know. I don't have anything more to say.
No,
I
that
think.
was a beautiful, beautiful episode, and you did well. You get a hug.
And but I want to say the last thing. no,
What?
it's not about, because we have this amazing person coming on Tuesday. It's Mark, and he has some really life-changing stories as well. And he's been a mentor, a friend, coach,
Everything.
everything for us. And we hold him dearly in our hearts, even though we don't always talk with him. But he's an amazing human being, and we've been there in his worst time of his life, and he's been there when we felt shitty. And
We will have him on the podcast live
at
through
9
from at 9 o'clock in the morning. He'll be live with us
London time, baby.
directly from Bali,
Yeah,
where he lives. He's going to call us from the Onion, his home base
yeah.
in Ubud. And it might be a long one, but it's going to be very interesting because Mark is a fucking
Awesome.
amazing human being.
Yeah, he is. He's freaking awesome.
So tune in on Tuesday,
Yeah.
9 a.m. London time.
And
That's 10
I
a.m.
will have stopped crying by then.
Corona time, and Niki will no longer be crying.
Well, who knows? Sometimes it has to be the first. Anyways, love you guys, and thank you for tuning in. And remember to share, follow all this Minoli. So this helps us to spread the word about happiness.
And please write a comment down below if you enjoyed the podcast. It make us
As much as I did.
as much as Niki did.
Bye guys.
To heart, chase